I've been waking up slow with the weight in my chest, like the sun forgot how to shine in the west. And I smile when they ask, say I'm doing just fine, but there's thunder rolling quiet in the back of my mind. Some days are light, and some days I fake, and some days I break for my own damn sake. Well, the thing is, I'm trying, even when the voice in my head keeps lying. It's a war just to get out of bed, but I breathe in deep and I face it instead. No, I'm not alright, but I'm fighting to be. Well, the thing is, I'm still me. I got friends who don't call, and I don't blame them. Hard to hold space when your world's gone vacant. And I wish I could tell you what's missing inside, but it's foggy in here, even with open eyes. I wear my silence like armor, I know, but there's hope in the cracks where the light starts to show. Well, the thing is, I'm healing, even when I don't trust what I'm feeling. Every scar is a line in my song, every stumble's a sign. I've been walking this long, and I don't have a map, but I've got my feet. Well, the thing is, I'm still me. I won't lie and say it's easy, but I won't hide the storm inside. If you're walking through the darkness, take my hand, we'll walk side by side. Well, the thing is, we're learning, and the fire in our hearts keeps burning. Even when the night feels too long, the strength in the fact we go on. So if you're not okay, let this song set you free. 'Cause the thing is, you're still you, and that's still enough for me.
You're still you, and that's still enough for me. Yeah. What up, Miss Virginia? I am pretty sure. Oh, thank you for that super sticker from Mr. Eddie. When he's had to go get something to eat, so I'm starting off the show tonight. For the both of us, you know what I'm saying? If you have yet to meet me, hello, my name is Charlie Sending Love. I'm being the co-host for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Although this Friday will be a special show with Mr. Eddie and Miss Beautiful Bubbles. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, the Snooper. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. You know, as he would say, how you doing? You know, I'm pretty sure when he sees that you're in chat, Mr. Virginia, he's gonna freak out when he comes like, oh my God, Miss Regina. You know what I'm saying? So you know, welcome everybody to the show. To those bushwashers who, you know, may be a little bit busy right now in their life doing whatever they're doing. Thank you for being here, because you could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here and support Mr. Eddie, and he will be here as soon as possible. I'm going to start out the show. Today's topic, you know, we're doing everything, you know, mental health related. It's going to be Team Neurodivergent. And I'm going to explain to you, if you've never heard the term neurodivergent, I'm going to explain to you what it means. Uh-oh, I think we got somebody in the background. Oh, there he is.
What's going on, everybody?
You got you let's put this up on screen there.
Regina, how you doing? Thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Snooper, how you doing? Pat, how you doing? Let's see who else is in here. So, thank you for being here. Sorry I was a few minutes late, but I want to introduce you to my co-host, Charlie Sending Love. So, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, give you a little update before we get the show started. Me and Charlie, we talk about mental health. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, if I decided to do a live, it'll be with a guest on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tonight's live is about neurodivergence. Okay. Friday, I'm going live with Bubble Bubbles, and we're going to be exposing the foster care industry. So be here for that too. With that being said, I'll let Charlie sending love get this on the roll.
All right, so we're going to start with the first article we here have from the Cleveland Clinic. Neurodivergent is a non-medical term that describes people whose brain develop or work differently for some reason. This means the person has different strengths and struggles from people whose brains develop or work more typical. While some people who are neurodivergent have medical conditions, it also happens to people where a medical condition or a diagnosis hasn't been identified. What does it mean when a person is neurodivergent? The term neurodivergent describes people whose brains differences affect how their brain works. That means they have different strengths and challenges from people whose brains don't have those differences. The possible differences include medical disorders, learning disabilities, and other conditions. These possible strengths include better memory, being able to mentally picture three-dimensional objects easily, the ability to solve complex mathematical calculations in their head, and many more. Neurodivergent isn't a medical term. Instead, it's a way to describe people using words other than normal or and abnormal. That's important because there's no single definition of normal for how the human brain works. The words for people who aren't neurodivergent is neurotypical. That means their strengths and challenges aren't affected by any kind of differences that change how their brain works. Why does this term exist? The term neurodivergent comes from the related term neurodiversity. Judy Singer, an Australian sociologist, coined the word neurodiversity in 1998 to recognize that everyone's brain develops in a unique way. Like a person's fingerprints, no two brains, not even those of two identical twins, are exactly the same. Because of that, there's no definition of normal capabilities for the human brain. For most areas of the modern medicine, defining what's normal is critical. In many circumstances, healthcare providers determine a person's health based on the yes or no questions. Is this normal? Depending on the answer, a person is either sick or well based on symptoms they do or don't have or things that they can or can't do. An example of this in everyday life would be comparing the following two people with a special talent for drawing. Person one, a 12-year-old child with autism spectrum disorder who struggles in social situations. The child's main ASD related issues are social problems, usually high interest in drawing and being strictly dependent on a daily routine. The child is naturally better at drawing without taking classes or accumulating experience. Person two, a 40-year-old neurotypical adult, the adult learned to draw at the age of 17, and their talent took hard work and time to develop. They're very social and make friends easily. No one consider the adult abnormal or defective because they can't paint as well as the child. Likewise, autism spectrum disorder is a condition that can take many different forms, many of which happen in people who don't have ASD. Describing the child as neurodivergent acknowledges that they're differently abled. Neurodiversity means it's natural for both the adult and the child to develop differently and have their own abilities and struggles. Can y'all give me just 1 second? I'm going to finish this out. I just had somebody walk in. Okay, sorry about that. Is being neurodivergent a disability? Some neurodivergent people struggle because of systems or processes that don't give them a chance to show off their strengths or that create new or more intense challenges for them. Example one. Many people who are neurodivergent struggle in social situations, which can make it hard to find work because they struggle during job interviews. However, they can still get the job if the hiring process emphasizes their abilities, such as screening potential hires with a skills test. Once on the job, their attention to detail means they're an outstanding accountant or record keeper because they can easily process data that others might find more tedious. Example two. Some who are neurodivergent struggle in noisy environments or situations. That means a busy office can feel overwhelming to them. However, A pair of noise canceling headphones might give them the quiet they need to make them the most productive person on their team because one of their strengths is the ability to focus on their work intensely. In both examples, accommodations help the person overcome their particular struggle. For someone with a disability, an accommodation is a way to accept that they are different or have challenges and then give them the tool or way to succeed. For the people who are neurodivergent, in the examples above, the accommodations were the hiring process and the headphones. Accommodations for people with disabilities isn't a new idea. Some examples include physical disabilities, ramps and entrances with automatic doors for those in wheelchairs, sensory disabilities, crosswalks, and a loud tone for those who have vision problems to let them know it's safe to cross the street. Why use the term neurodivergent to describe people? Some people oppose the idea of neurodiversity as being about differences instead of deficiencies. Many who take the stance say that they're against it because some who are neurodivergent have true medical conditions that need treatment. However, research shows that knowing about the idea of neurodiversity doesn't mean people who are neurodivergent ignore or deny that they have struggles. Instead, the research shows people who know about the idea of being neurodivergent uses the knowledge to adapt and to help them succeed. Experts researchers also shows words and languages related to neurodiversity make a difference in how people live. People who are neurodivergent and learn that it means they're different, not sick or defective, are more likely to be happier and aim higher in their careers. An example of this is someone who has dyslexia. People with this condition struggle to read because their brain doesn't process written language like the brain of someone without dyslexia. However, people with dyslexia usually have brains that are better at processing or mentally picturing 3D objects. That makes them much faster at identifying optical illusions, and they have a natural talent for jobs like graphic design and arts and engineering and more. Possible causes. What are the symptoms of being neurodivergent? Neurodivergent isn't a medical term, condition, or diagnosis. People who are neurodivergent have differences in the way their brain works. This is still true even for people with the same medical diagnosis. That means people with very different signs and symptoms can still have the same diagnosis. What conditions can a neurodivergent person have? People who identify themselves as neurodivergent typically have one or more of the conditions or disorders listed below. However, since they aren't any medical criteria or definitions of what it means to be neurodivergent, other conditions also can fall under this term as well. People with these conditions may also choose not to identify themselves as neurodivergent. Some of the conditions that are most common among those who describe themselves as neurodivergent include autism spectrum disorder. This includes what was once known as Asperger's syndrome, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, DiGiorgio syndrome, Down syndrome, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, dyslexia, dyspraxia, intellectual disabilities, mental health conditions like bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and more, Prader-Willi syndrome, sensory processing disorders, social anxiety, a specific type of anxiety disorder, Tourette syndrome, Williams syndrome. Additional common questions. How can I find out if I'm neurodivergent or if I have a child who is neurodivergent? The first step to find out if you or someone you care for is neurodivergent is to talk to your healthcare provider. They can refer you to a specialist or other provider who can determine if you have a medical disorder, condition, or other brain related difference that might explain why your brain works differently. It is possible to prevent, treat, or cure being neurodivergent. Neurodiversity refers to the unique way the person's brain develops. That means it's not preventable, treatable, or curable. Some of the conditions that cause a person to be neurodivergent are manageable. If a specialist or other healthcare provider diagnoses you or someone you care for with a condition like those mentioned above, they can also talk to you about resources for people with that condition. There's a wide range of possible management options, therapy programs, and more. For some people, such as those with ADHD, behavioral therapy and medication can positively affect their quality of life. For other therapy programs can help you play to your strengths, meaning that you show you how to make the most out of your abilities. They can also show you how to adapt to your challenges, minimizing their interference in your life. Can people who are neurodivergent be successful? Yes. Many people who are neurodivergent are accomplished and successful. More and more people who are neurodivergent are talking about their experiences. Some examples of famous and successful people who are neurodivergent include animal scientist and author Temple Grandin, Oscar-winning actor Sir Anthony Hopkins, musician and singer Florence Welch, Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles, climate activist Greta Thunberg. Experts also believe several accomplished historical figures were neurodivergent based on the evidence from their lives. These include Nobel Prize winning physicist and chemist Marie Curie, Nobel Prize winning theoretical physicist Albert Einstein, artist Vincent van Gogh, inventor and engineer Nicholas Tesla, author F. Scott Fitzgerald. Business leaders also have a growing understanding of the value of being neurodivergent. In 2017, the magazine Harvard Business Review published Neurodiversity as a Competitive Advantage. The article details the benefits of hiring people who are neurodivergent and why more businesses are doing so. The same article noted that several major national and international corporations have hiring process that can accommodate people who are neurodivergent. Those corporations include some of the largest names in the information technology, the automotive industry, the banking sector, and more. Where can I learn more about what it means to be neurodivergent? People who are neurodivergent often excel at communicating in online spaces. That's because nonverbal communication, such as eye contact, facial expressions, and body language, doesn't have to be a part of online interaction. Experts often compare computers and other digital devices to prosthetics for those with difficulties in social communication. There are several online spaces where groups of people who are neurodivergent gather, exchange information, discuss their experiences and struggles, and offer advice and resources to each other. Some of the most popular spaces are in plain sight, with neurodivergent communities, groups, and information sharing on some of the most popular websites and social media platforms. What are some of the things I could do to support someone who is neurodivergent? There are many things that people could do to be supportive of neurodivergent individuals. Some of the most important things you should keep in mind include listen. People who are neurodivergent may feel misunderstood or left out. Be willing to listen to them. Let them know you hear them and respect them and their choices. Communicate in ways that help them. Sometimes people who are neurodivergent prefer written communication, such as an instant messaging, texting, or emails over a phone call or face to face conversation. Give them the time and the tools they need to communicate. Avoid value based labels. Experts recommend against using the terms high functioning and low functioning to describe conditions like autism. They often assume a person's level of function based on how much they behave like someone who's neurotypical. No two neurodivergent people are the same. The personalities and the preferences of neurodivergent people can be widely different, even when they have the same underlying condition. Don't assume that anyone is incapable or unintelligent. People who are neurodivergent often have conditions or preferences that make them stand out or appear different. Treat everyone with respect. You can normalize and provide others with accommodations in a way that honors their human dignity. A note from the Cleveland Clinic. Neurodiversity is a word used to explain the unique way people's brains work. While everyone's brain develops similarly, no two brains function just alike. Being neurodivergent means having a brain that works differently from the average or neurotypical person. This may be the difference in social preferences, ways of learning, ways of communicating, and or ways of perceiving the environment. Because of this, a neurodivergent person has different struggles and unique strengths. People who are neurodivergent can benefit from education and programs that help them develop their strengths, using them to their benefit to live happy and healthy lives. I think that summed it up just perfectly, actually.
There's a lot of detail.
Yeah, I think it's actually, I don't think we need the second one because now that I'm reading the second one over the first one.
Yep. And it just basically explains the same thing.
So yeah, they literally, a lot of us are neurodivergent technically, and we don't even realize it, right? Like, it's just because our brain thinks differently. It works on a different wavelength than a neurotypical brain.
So Cash H said, we all on every spectrum. to varying degrees. And then he says, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, mixed. So I'm pretty sure he knows what that means.
I love me some Cash. Miss Regina, I'm praying for you because I know what it's like. I did not have power myself until yesterday afternoon. So I feel you, and you stay safe and stay warm out there, okay, love? I just want you to know that just in case you had like it goes out for you or something like that. I wanted to say that beforehand. Hopefully you'll be able to stay with us, but you know, you know how that goes.
Yes, Cash is witty. That's what Ty Spork said. Cash is witty. So when my best friend, which today's his birthday, believe it or not, and I got to call him and say happy birthday to him, but I will after this live. His youngest son, my godson Ethan, I knew he was autistic right away. His dad did not want to believe it. And I said, you need to get him checked out. So,
Hello.
how you doing, J-Mode?
Good, just finishing up my cigar for the day.
So, I told him he needs to get his son looked at, and comes back that I was accurate. His son is on the autism spectrum. And well, I will say this, okay, is my best friend. I met him in college. You know, I didn't see him going in the program he's in right now. Okay. I'm just amazed at what he has done with his life. He went to school for criminology. Okay. And then he became a juvenile probation officer, and he didn't like that field. So he went back into working factories and making money to survive. And one day he calls me up. Can I move in with you? Yeah. And then when he's living with me, his kid's mother gave him custody of the kids. So now I'm in a house, a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 of us in a small 2-bedroom apartment, right? Living. And it happened to be during the summer before school started that I got to know Ethan, and knowing and understanding autism. And I told Jesse, and he goes and gets it treated, finds out it's true, and works with them. And with the child that is autistic, you have to communicate with them differently than a person that's not autistic, because they're more sensitive to sound, to colors, to food, texture. You know, that they have all these different things. And so now you got to work with them. You know, and their communication. He had to go through speech therapy. My son did too, to learn how to communicate. And well, he ends up moving out, getting his own place, and getting custody of his oldest daughter. Now he's this father of 3. He got all 3 of his kids. Now he's in school for nursing. And he works with children that have autism. So he's learning as he goes. And I wish all parents, when their child is young and they know that their child is autistic, is to get involved with different organizations so you can learn. Okay. you know, because a lot of parents that don't understand autism can tend to get angry easier, in my opinion, because they think the kid's not listening, not paying attention. No, their learning is different, in my opinion.
You're right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
So,
like I know a young lady that she has the brain of a small child. She has tumors on her brain and it caused damage. They can't operate on the tumors because it would hurt her more and could, take her out of this world. So they had to leave them there, right? And so she never developed past a certain age, if that makes sense. And but I'll tell you this: you could put her in front of any video game system, and she could play it off the bat without even like never touching it before in her life. Like that was her. Like she would sit there and she used to turn her head and listen while playing Mario and never make a mistake. Not looking at the screen, listening to it. First
wow.
time when I had a Nintendo 64, she had never played it. I handed her the controller and I was trying to tell her, and she just ignored me and just started playing. I was like, well, and was good at it. Like, no explanation needed. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, I read in the comment, J Mode. I saw you said you know. So this subject must be touchy to you.
Yeah, because I'll start off from when I was a kid. Um, I was adopted. My mom, I felt like I need to say that. That really has nothing to do with it. Um, when I was a little bit older, I think around like 6 or 7, my mom was told by teachers that she should have me whatever evaluated or whatever for autism. Uh, she decided against it because at the time the school system I was in was not the best with accommodating kids with needs like that. So she didn't. She did have me tested for ADD, which that's my official diagnosis. Even though talking with Charlie, she thinks it's probably more so ADHD. But through talking with Charlie and learning more about autism with, Charlie and looking into it myself, more and more I think that I may be on the spectrum in some way. To the point that this year I am going to be looking into finding out what I have, whether it's autism, ADHD, or something else that's related, or a combination of them. And that's why this is a little like close to home for me right now. And Charlie can tell you it I've been experiencing more lately with situations that arise with having that. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that,
No,
but
you know,
that's yeah,
feel free to talk about what you want to talk about, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know, and I'm glad that you're going to look further into this to learn more about you.
yeah,
You know, that's important to understand yourself and learn about yourself. You know, because believe it or not, the people around you notice things better than you yourself.
yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure that Charlie probably knows you better than you know yourself,
I would say so. Yes.
and vice versa.
Yep.
Okay. And that's how it's supposed to be. So she's noticing things. At least you're accepting it and looking into it instead of some people who will be like, that's not true, nonsense. And, and instead of arguing it, you're accepting it and looking into it and learning.
Yeah, I will admit originally I wasn't going to because I was kind of like, what's the point at being almost 40 years old getting diagnosed now? But the more I thought about it, at least I'll know for certain, and that'll also help me learn like coping mechanisms I can do, which even though I'm not fully diagnosed or anything in any capacity right now, I've been implementing certain ones, and it's kind of been helping.
Which is coping mechanisms are very important.
Yeah.
And CFM Rocks Queen, how you doing? So I like I've shared on this channel many times with my diagnosis with anxiety and PTSD and all that stuff. I didn't know I had those problems growing up until I sobered up and went and got help. And then you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
Coping mechanisms, which I still struggle with to this day. I think the main thing that helps me cope is video games, my cell phone, and coming on here. Because right now, I just found out that I have to have surgery on my arm again.
Sorry to hear that.
And my insurance won't cover it with the doctor I'm seeing. So I have to wait another 5 months to see another doctor that will take my insurance. So it's just like coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Instead of getting upset and stressing over it, just cope with it. It'll be all right.
I will say one of my, and I think it is related to it, also quite a bit with my anxiety. One of my coping mechanisms I found, that's why I started cigar enjoyment. Having a daily one, it helps me slow the world down, gives me a moment to breathe while I'm enjoying it, not really have to think about much else. And I've found that that's helped quite a bit myself.
You're relaxing.
Yep.
You're not worried about anything around you. You're just enjoying the taste of the cigar.
Yep.
And do you watch TV?
Yep, usually a movie or something, unless I'm at the lounge meeting with some friends that I've met at the lounge, of course.
That one thing I will tell you, if nobody here has done it, okay, and you like cigars, remember, don't inhale it.
Yes, Charlie.
You do not inhale cigars, okay? All right? Because you're not smoking a cigarette and you're not smoking ganja. So you do not inhale cigars. They will make you cough like that, okay? And I'm not even smoking a cigar. So, but you meet cool people. You meet down-to-earth people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, I've been to many cigar shops. I took my mom to a cigar shop, met some cool people. My mom had a glass of wine. I had a cigar. She enjoyed it. We went out to eat. Me and my mom went out to eat. I look at it this way. You got to enjoy life too. Enjoy life.
Yeah.
And smoking a cigar, watching a movie, going to a lounge, meeting new people, smoking a cigar. Smoke a cigar, man. There ain't nothing wrong with smoking cigars. At all. Just don't inhale.
Yeah. I did not inhale. No, I'm gonna start pulling out, I did not inhale and I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Okay. But yeah, no, like for me, we talk about team neurodivergent, right? There's a lot of us that fall under Team Neurodivergent, right? So I'm ADHD. I don't know all of what else, you know, and a lot of people have multi-diagnosis, and you can have. That's just the one I know about, right? So I'm not going to make any assumptions or anything like that without, extra diagnoses. But, so we all think differently and use it differently. Like, so in my brain, like when we talk about studying or we talk about doing things or coping mechanisms, for me, it's music, it's video games, like you said. It's, like nerding out, playing D&D, reading, for me. I love reading. I absolutely adore it. I'm a huge reader. And like I like the true crime sometimes. I love focusing on certain things and being analytical and breaking things down, helping others with mental health because it helps me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got a very special guest. Hey, Miss Regina. It's so nice to meet
Hey,
you.
Charlie. It is such a pleasure to meet you. It is so good to be up here with you guys. Eddie, how you doing? I can't do it like you. I just can't.
I know, and other other creators can't do it like me either. So
Nobody can. It
you
just
know,
it sounds awful when I even try. I'm not even gonna try it again. I'm just gonna
you
have to record you and be like, "Hey, Eddie, look what I got." Push a button.
so Regina's son is autistic,
Yes.
so she she could talk about it too
Yes.
because um, I've actually talked to her son a time or two.
Hmm. Yep.
You know, not on panel, but over the phone. You know, so if you want to discuss and share, you know,
Yes. So the thing is a lot of times whenever someone says someone is neurodivergent or they learn different outside of the scope of medical, most people are like, oh, that person has problems. But really, it's not so much a problem as it is understanding. You need to have understanding. Don't look at it like a problem because whenever someone is neurodivergent, they learn differently. And the key to helping improve their lives and help them to grow into being able to even, some of them take care of themselves later in life. The key factor is learning their strengths more than anything and trying to figure out what they're interested in and playing that to helping them educate in other areas too. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect
yes,
sense, Miss Virginia. I like with my ADHD, right? I had to learn a different way to, let's say, study for a test, right?
Hmm.
I had to learn, like, with ADHD, you get sidetracked a lot. Like you'll do one task and end up doing 20 at once. So I had to learn a way to hyper focus on that one task. When it comes to important dates, I forget them all the time. So I had to learn a way to be able to deal with that. And it's all about like I wasn't medicated my entire life till just recently, right? So I've had it since I was a kid. I had to learn different ways to be able to sit down in that classroom and not jump up, and even talking out of turn is still sometimes a problem for me because I get super excited and the ADHD goes woohoo. You know what I mean?
Yes, and having ADHD. I had a brother who had ADHD. He was super hyper, super unfocused, and stuff like that. But whenever it come to things that fit along with how he learned, he was more able to control his thinking and stuff. And he was medicated too. But really, whenever they figured out he was a visual learner, and they started playing to that strength instead of audio and other forms of learning, it really helped improve his learning and his life. my
It does.
son my son, he is tactile and he is visual. um he didn't even speak until after he was 5. um and whenever he started speaking, it was all echolally, which is repeating everything being said to them, right? But not speaking and responding, just repeating everything. Um, Whenever he was 15 months old, he still wasn't crawling. He was holding his head up and turning over and stuff like that, but he wasn't crawling. And, put him with the nieces and nephews and cousins, and tried doing it that way and everything to see if he would pick up on it, but he didn't. What it took was me thinking outside of the box, because sometimes we're thinking how we learn instead of how other people may learn. And it really stifles helping someone that's outside of the way we learn. And I had to start thinking, okay, what gets his attention? What is he interested in? And I had a flashlight that had the multicolor. You could change, twist it and it would change the color of the lens. And I turned all the lights out in my house and I played with him with that flashlight. And this is going to sound a little crazy. Maybe some people won't agree to it, but it was what got him crawling. I played with him with the flashlight and got him to chase the light. That's how I got my son to start crawling. You have to think outside the box. I paid attention. He seemed to be drawn to things that were bright and glittery. That's what I used as his strength to help him improve his quality of life. Does that make sense?
Oh, it really does. I
Yeah.
love jingly keys and shiny objects. I'm like, oh, shiny. Yeah, I would have been trying to crawl to it too as a little baby, but like, who's shiny? Let me go see what this is.
Yeah. And that was what it took to get him motivated outside of his own thoughts to get him to crawl and stuff. And like whenever it comes to reading and stuff, he still can't read too well. He reads about like a first grader, second grader at best. But whenever it comes to seeing labels with words, like he doesn't have to be able to read it. He can remember what it is. So he still has strengths and is able to read some, but it's outside of the way we would be taught to read,
It's
like starting with the alphabet and stuff.
And that's what is neurodivergency. If you think about it, it's just being different in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that they're less intelligent. It just means that they do things differently than most. That's why, you can play to the strengths of a person with neurodiversity to make their quality of life better. And then, like for myself, I know where my strengths are. I can really hyper focus. Like with ADHD, if I really get into something, I can hyper focus to the point I see nothing else in the world and hear nothing else.
Right. Yeah. It's the things that like pique your interest or are alongside paralleling to the way you learn. Those are the things that are going to interest you and you're going to be able to have more focus and control, right? Yeah. So it doesn't mean that someone is lower intelligence. It does not mean that someone can't learn. It just means sometimes we need to have enough patience to figure out what drives them to help motivate them in the areas that they need to improve. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah. All right, I'm getting crickets here.
I'm sorry about that. Literally had somebody walk in and was talking, so I was like, I can't unmute right this second. No, like I like with I've seen different, like every person with neurodivergency also is different, right? We're all different. Even if we both have the same disorder, like I know multiple people with autism, and autism is a spectrum, right? And so you could have one person with autism that they're more of an analytical person, and then you have another person who is more of a visual, right? And then another one that's more audio freak. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't mean freak in a bad way. I mean like, oh my God, I love it.
Right. Right. Loves music. That I knew what you meant. But that's exactly right. And literally the things like it's not really common knowledge. Most people don't know about this. They don't know about neurodivergence and stuff. But you can take two people, what you call an atypical person and a person with a neurodivergent brain, and you can literally put them under a scanner and watch areas of their brain light up. And the pathways are different from atypical and someone that is neurodivergent, the way the brain actually routes the information through their brain. They did that to my son and found out that he doesn't route much information through his audio side of his brain like he's supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He hit the part of his brain that is visual lights up. So, and sometimes even testing like that, you can figure out what their strengths are, with how they process information, and that can help in um, getting down I guess you'd call it an IEP. I'm using school terms, but get them into a program that is beneficial for their way of learning is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like this. Okay, so even with when we talk about neurodiversity, people who with bipolar and anxiety fall under that. So that the way they handle emotion, right, is different than a neurotypical brain. The way they handle thought process when it comes to that, like they may be overly emotional or overly angry, where a neurotypical brain doesn't process it that way. We talk about not just learning, but neurodiversity it encompasses your emotions, your thought processes, and how you go about everyday life. You know, so it,
I
it encompasses so much.
Yeah, I would be very interested to see how neurodiversity would play into people with PTSD as well, because people that go through certain types of trauma, it rewires their brain also. I would
Yes.
be curious to see how studies went in that. You know what I mean?
Well, they did link it to like bipolar and different things like that. And I think it would be linked, in my opinion, to PTSD, because here's the reason why. Your brain doesn't think like a neurotypical brain anymore. It did at one time. I think there's a study that would be like onset, called onset, right? Neurodivergency. That because of this certain traumas that happened, your brain rewired differently to where now you have not a neurotypical brain, you have a neurodivergent brain. So your processes for your emotions and different things and regulations are different now. They're not neurotypical.
Exactly. Exactly. That. Yes. Yes. How are you
Hey,
doing, Viper?
hey,
Hey, what's up?
Viprin.
You
Hey,
Long time
handsome
no see.
fox, you. Long time no see.
Yeah. I disappeared there for a while. My computer died, so I had to wait to get it back.
Let me go beat
But
your computer up because, like, I missed my Viprin. I'm like, we're gonna fight, computer.
okay. So this past time of me being gone, past couple of days, is because of the storm. We lost electricity and all that stuff, and then the city came. Dude, I hate this so much. They came to cut the limbs away from the power lines after it snowed and all that crap, and then they make these big ass logs and they have them stacked out in the backyard. I'm wondering if they're ever going to come get that crap. But
I doubt it.
yeah. Well, I was saying if I have a child that's going to run out there and play near them and it falls and hurts them, I could probably sue the city.
Yeah, that's true. I will say this: I had the same problem. I was not here. The reason Monday stream happened, I didn't have power from Saturday until yesterday afternoon.
yeah.
Yeah, we've been out of power for a long time too. They're actually, I don't know why. Just because the side roads, they still have no school, so they don't have school tomorrow, even though most of it's melting, except for the the little neighborhood roads.
I think they actually declared our state a state of emergency.
Yeah, they did.
That's how bad it was. I'm not laughing, but I am laughing. They literally had people come from Arkansas, Tennessee, all over, different trucks, just to help us, because we had over what was it, 40 or 50? I forget exactly how many. It was thousands of people without power, and I mean it was the whole of North Mississippi. Not just like in just my area, just my county. We had over 4,000 people without power. 4,000 something. It was 5,000 at it was 5,500 and something when I first checked. And it took them a long time to get a lot of power back because like we had so many trees that just fell and so many limbs that popped and so many transformers blew, and we even had problems at the substations. It was like I think the worst thing that they had to fix was in a little place that's called Guntown, and they had a bunch of like transformers blow in the main part of the city, and it was a lot of them. They were some of the last ones to get power because of that.
I was surprised they got our power on as fast as they did. We had the electricity. It was during the whole ice and stuff that we were having during the main the main storm, and the electricity was flickering off and on, and it was just kept on doing it, And I told my son, I was like, okay, turn off your computer, turn off your TV. Those are basically little power surges, and they can start damaging all your electrical equipment.
Yes.
So we had to start turning all the stuff off, and then my battery backup is like clicking, click, 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 back and forth because the electricity. And I was like, oh man, I had to unplug everything. And finally, it went out before I could, because I was going to go turn the breaker off and just basically turn our electricity off, because it could start a fire too. And so we finally did that. And so I figured they weren't going to have it on until the next day. They had it on that night during the storm. I guess they had people come from Arkansas down to this part of Oklahoma. They were driving through, going more down south where the ice actually hit really hard in some of the towns. And I guess they had them help or something. I don't know, but they turned on the electricity so damn fast. I was like, pretty impressive.
You got lucky. We went 4 days. Thank God we prepared and had the wood, had the fireplace, had the bottles of butane, had the cook stove and all those things, and the generator, because it was single digit weather, really bad.
Girl, it got to negative the what's it called? Not the actual temperature, but the I'm having a brain patootie.
What it feels like?
Yes, what it feels like. Negative 27 here.
Where are you about from?
A wind chill of negative 27 here. I'm in the northeastern part of Arkansas. And let me tell you
we're
what.
not far. Hey, we stay there.
Girl, what's up?
Yep.
But we didn't have actual power outages. We had the power brownings where like it would you could tell something happened in the system and it would like everything would dim down really low in our house. You know what I mean? And stuff.
Looks freaky.
But now our internet, that has been the worst it has ever been since we've lived here over the past 24 hours. So something serious is going on there. It wouldn't surprise me if someone didn't drive into one of the sub things or something like that.
Is it underground?
Yeah, it's all underground. It's all underground.
That's why.
Yeah.
I actually just got through dealing with this right before the ice storm. My internet kept on cutting out. I kept on having internet issues. Turns out, like the casing they put the internet line in fills up with water and it causes issues. It drops your internet constantly. I did not know. I did not know underground. Yeah, I didn't know underground things did that like that. I thought it was safer underground, but I guess with how much rain we get, sometimes it kind of floods in the backyard and stuff. And I guess that water soaks in and it goes into that casing that's around the cable, and it will cause problems. And I didn't know that. I saw them pull it out when they sent somebody here. They're going to redig the line. I was like, they said that you're just going to slide it into the line thing you already have. I didn't want another thing dug all the way across the damn yard. So they took it all out. They were pulling the cable out, and all this water is just pouring out of that tube that they have down there. So,
oh wow. That's crazy. Yeah. I never knew that it would get water in it like that. But do you know what the biggest heartbreak of this entire storm was for me? This is what made me spit. This made me spit. If I'd had fire in my mouth, it would have lit everything up. We got a good 7 inches of snow, right? Beautiful, powdery. We went out there. We were going to build a snowman, but it was still too fluffy. It wouldn't compact. You know what I'm saying? It was so cold outside. Yeah. So we thought, well, a little bit of sleet's going to come in and we're going to be able to go out there and build something out of it. It'll get sticky, Yep. No. We got like just under a quarter of an inch on top of it all. We could not build a snowman out of that. We could do nothing with that except take a shovel and crack it and chunk it to get it off the driveway. It was so bad. Talk about heartbreak. I did not get to build a snowman, you guys, or a snow cat. My daughter's
I didn't even get no snow to do nothing either. But I know what you're talking about because we've gotten that before. Or here's the messy thing. You get all the pretty snow the night before. So you get ready for the next day, right? And then it kind of melts off a little bit and freezes back or something like that. And then it's just ice on top and you can't do nothing. It sucks. I hate that about, down here, down south. We very rarely get that beautiful fluffy snow like they get up north. And so we get super excited when we finally get to see it and play with it and make snowmans and throw snowballs and stuff. I can count like on my hand both my hands how many times it's actually done it. You know what I mean? Where we
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
get
Yes.
My part of Oklahoma that I've lived at, the 2-3 towns I've lived at around here, it's normally slush. That's what we get. Like if it does snow and it's packed down there and stuff, it's more like ice crystals, I guess, or whatever. But mainly it's slush, so it's really hard to make snowman. On slush, making a big slush snowman.
You know what? One of our neighbors one year had somebody that kept hitting. Babe, okay, he's got it. That kept hitting their snowman, would drive up in their yard and knock their snowman over. So they put cinder blocks underneath it when they rebuilt it. They didn't do it but one time after that.
I read about a story about something like that. I did. That's been shared online. I
Yep.
don't know if you know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I read about that. It was funny. Because hey, you shouldn't be trying to knock over a kid's damn snowman. Learn
Man,
your lesson.
you don't mess with snowmen. They ain't doing nothing to you. Just leave them on alone. Let them just sit there and chill. That's all they're doing, literally. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, and the only time we ever had a really good one I had one when I was little, and then when my son was little. But the thing was, I couldn't take my name. It was so cold. So what I did is I went out the back door, and I knew he could see from the back door, so I'd pick him up and let him see out the back. I built him the biggest damn snowman. And I didn't care how cold I was out there. I had my gloves on, and I was covered. And I took a bucket and I just built him this big old huge snowman. Put the little things for its eyes and put its little, little branches I found for its little arms. And he loved that snowman because he was only 2 or 3 at the time. He was a little kid, little big baby. So I wasn't gonna have him out in that snow getting sick and stuff. And
but building him
everything.
one. Oh,
he got to look out that back door. And when it finally got warm here and it started melting, he cried because his snowman disappeared. And I had to tell him he went back up north and he'll come back.
yeah, he'll come back eventually. We don't get that much snow here, so go ahead, Vibrant.
I don't think my son likes snowmen anymore because I used to wake him up singing, do you want to build a snowman? He hated it so much. And then it turned into Baby Shark.
It doesn't have to be a snowman. My daughter, she doesn't do snowmen. She does snow cats. She's obsessed over cats, so it's always snow cats. She did a pretty good one. And we did a snow Mickey Mouse one year that kind of scared the neighbor kids, and I don't blame them. That thing was ugly, but she does the snow cats. I just want to make a snowman.
Yeah, I'm really surprised my son didn't do anything this year. He didn't. Well, he kind of went out there a little bit, but it was cold enough that like even the dogs, when they come in, we can't leave them out there more than 10 minutes because like if you were to grab the snow, try to pack it or whatever, it is so damn cold. Oh my God, it was pretty bad. So we had to. They couldn't stay out there that long. My son, he wanted to come in a little bit after falling in the snow because he was playing with the dogs.
Yep, that's cool. Oh,
Oh,
so many happy stories.
I did to my grandma the year we had real good snow when I was little. She stood on the other side of the car. We were playing snowball fights. It was like one of the only times I really got to do that as a kid because we didn't get much snow. And there was like a huge ass bunch on the top of the car. I almost unalived my grandma, y'all. And I pushed all the snow off the top of the car on top of her because she was hiding behind it. I was like, yeah.
You want to know something funny about that, Charlie? I'm so short of a person that if you did that with the snow on top of my car, it might take me a week to dig myself out.
I had to go help her out because I was taller than my grandma. My grandma was like 5'1" or 5'2". I'm almost 5'7", right? And so of course it was a hatchback a little. I could reach the roof good, right? So I just took my hands and I put them in like a wide thing and I just pushed everything off the car on top of her. She thought I couldn't see her, that she was hiding behind the car, but I could see her little feet, and I knew that she thought it was going to be funny to catch me come around the car and hit me. And I did the polar opposite. I snuck up on her.
Oh, that's good times. My brothers used to make the snowballs and then dip them in water and let the outside turn to ice. They were vicious.
The first time that, oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, where they take and they make the snowball and then yeah, make it harder, and then when they hit you,
Talk about a bruised
oof.
booty, a bruised back, bruised legs, bruised arms, all from playing snowballs with your brothers.
Ooh, that stuff hurts. My you know, it I I love some. I don't mind the cold weather per se, as long as like, and I don't mind the ice too much as long as it ain't like taking out my power. You know what I'm saying? It's just when it takes my power. Obviously, as an adult now, I worry my, board, my child, make sure everybody's good, all that stuff. But like, I don't mind the cold weather. And I love snow. I think it's so. My dad used to wake us up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, no lie, he was like a kid in a candy store when snow happened. He'd go, "It's snowing, it's snowing! Come here, come here, come here! Look!"
I love the snow, but I hate to be cold. Hate to be cold.
Yeah, I don't like it when it's okay. There's two different kind. You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause you down here, Miss Virginia. I
Uh-huh.
don't mind when it's like a drier cold
A
when
powdery snow,
yeah, and
yeah.
when that humid cold hits and it bites under your clothes, I can't stand
Mm-hmm.
that stuff.
Oh no, it's completely different. It's completely
Yeah.
different. Yeah. That humid cold is terrible. The dry cold, like the breeze can be really brutal, but like you're not just it's just not as cold for some reason. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
freeze
not
as quickly.
biting. Like, it
Yeah, it's
feels
not.
like it's biting you under your clothes when it's like the humid kind.
Yeah, because it's wet. It
Yeah.
sticks to you. Yeah, it's terrible. But I love good powdery snow. But the thing is like I went to Oregon, okay? Um, and in Oregon, all they have is powder snow. Like you
Mhm.
don't see like the ice and stuff like that like you do
Mhm.
here. It's just super deep, fluffy powder snow. And well, I
Ooh.
got my driver's license in Oregon, or that's where I did all my driving. You know what I'm saying? To get ready for my driver's license. And you can go from there to down here in Arkansas to this kind of wet snow, and it is completely
They
different.
laugh at us. They think, "Oh, you can't drive in a little." I said, "You ain't never drove in it. Let me explain something to you. Yeah, y'all may get foots of snow up there, right? And you can drive through it. It's not the same. I promise you. Come down here. It may look like we get what, an inch and a half or something like that. And I promise you, you're not gonna drive through it no matter how much you think you can, unless you're from down here. Now, if you're from down here and you've driven it before, my husband thought the same thing. He's from New York, right? So you know how they get snow, correct? He got down here and guess who went off the road? Mhm.
Found out what a
Uh,
real skating rink was, huh? Didn't
mhm.
he?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Is that
'Cause
Matthew? Matthew.
what up, Matthew is silly? What up? How you doing? Oh, I heard about your cooking. I went over there. You make people hungry, Mr. Matthew. Just saying. Some good food up on panel. Y'all know I love food. I'm a fluffy girl.
Girl, I am not the one to take out on a date and expect to order a crouton and a glass of water. There better be a
Hell
steak, a
no.
side salad, and a fixins with that.
Heck yeah. And I want a dessert. I want some chocolate cake or something. I want something, a cookie. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna eat. Like, you gonna get your money's worth. Take me to a buffet. I mean, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat us some good food. We're gonna eat together. And I'm gonna pack pounds on my booty cheeks. And I don't care. I know you gonna love it anyway. My man always says more cushion for the pushing, so it don't matter. It ain't like I'm like, my 600-pound life or some shit.
I was fluffy, of a pretty fluffy girl. After I had my daughter, and I held on to the weight for like 4 years. I quit drinking sodas and all that crap, and just started drinking water, sweet tea with meals, or lemonade. And I lost like 70 pounds and still haven't gained it back. And I
What's
can
crazy?
eat anything I want, anything.
Same thing, Miss Virginia. Here's the crazy part. I stay about the same size. And where I'm almost 5'7", the way that my weight distributes, you wouldn't know if I even gained or lost. The only way you can tell when I get real skinny is my face gets slimmer. Other than that, the rest of me looks exactly the same. I don't look like I change, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. It's the weirdest damn thing. When I go on a diet, I gain weight. when I just eat what I want as I want, I stay about the same or I lose weight. It's the craziest shit. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Girl, them diets are a scam. Diets are a scam. I just don't even do them. Just don't even do them. Eat till you're sated, drink plenty of water, and you'll be fine.
I've been told I'm a garbage disposal. I could eat, and eat and barely gain any pounds.
So like my son, pretty
My
much.
son. Yep. Yep.
And me used to be when I was little, I was like you, Viper. When I was younger, before I hit puberty, see, puberty kind of hit me because what had happened was I went from playing all kind of sports, being extremely active. My brother passed away, and I moved to a different school system in a different place, and I ended up like being a couch potato pretty much, and so that's why I gained weight. But and then didn't take long to gain that weight, and it took a long time to lose that weight. Let me just say it that way, and it slowly came off, right? But before then, like you, Viper, I could sit there and eat 3 giant cheeseburgers. I'm talking about mega cheeseburgers like you'd see on a damn TV show, and a thing of fries, and I'd still be hungry. My daddy used to tell me my middle name was Hungry because I was always hungry. They thought I had a tapeworm at one time, took me to the doctor to make sure I didn't have one because I was skinny as a rail pole eating all the time.
Yeah, I had to get checked for a tapeworm one time. I used to when I worked at the casino back in the day, at the Choctaw Casino here in the state or in Oklahoma, and every time I made so much money there, tips from high rollers and all that stuff, man. Every day I would get home from work, I would get me 2 large supreme pizzas, and that would be my lunch or dinner, because I'm constantly eating things like as much as that. But I had to get checked for tapeworms too, because like I would not gain weight and I would eat so damn much, and I would still eat and eat and eat all during the day. Now, the little bit of weight that I have now is just because my MS, I guess. It can cause weight issues or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I sometimes it sucks because being really skinny,
hold on a minute.
I get cold.
Okay, I started to say you're talking about being thin, not big, right, Viper? Because look, if you think that you got any weight on you, we all need to sit down and have an intervention, honey.
No,
Okay. Okay.
I have weight. I have weight in my stomach area.
Because you are mistaken. You are thin. You look healthy.
The weight that I do, I don't feel it. The weight that I do have around my stomach area, I guess, is from my MS. But I have an issue now. I might have an ulcer or something. I have so much pain in my upper stomach, and it's horrid, dude. It hurts so damn bad.
Okay, if you have to go to your doctor, I want you to ask for this. Get a prescription of it and keep it in your refrigerator. They can give you a prescription, and if you have to pay for it, it's only $15 out of pocket. Not really expensive. No more than $20. Okay, not really expensive. Ask for a GI cocktail. It's called a GI cocktail. They mix Maalox with lidocaine. It will numb your stomach when you're having severe pain like that. It is the best thing you have ever tried in your life for that, because I have gastritis and GERD. I had the same issue. I had to have all kind of tests, had to have colonoscopy, endoscopy, all that shit multiple times. And I've always had real bad trouble with constipation. Come to find out, it was get them to check your gallbladder also. That can cause that pain too. Yeah, it'll double over pain to where you want to beg Jesus to take you out this world kind of pain. Like, I'm not joking.
And they'll do this little test on you. They'll give you the stuff to drink that's radioactive, and they'll put you under this thing and watch it go and see if your gallbladder is healthy. But like if you have gallstones or anything, it can cause you to have stomach pain. So yeah, you need to get your gallbladder checked.
Oh no. Hold up, I gotta mute.
But no, I will tell you that when you go to the GI doctor, do ask them for that. It is one of the best things I have ever tried in my life, because and I had to have my gallbladder out because I had gallstones, but it wasn't a problem at first, right? And then I got sludge, and when the sludge happened, they started saying you need to have surgery. I was like, when I asked them, I said, "Is it an emergency right now?" Because I had things to take care of. As a mom, Miss Regina, we have to schedule shit.
Yes.
And I was like, so do I need it right this second, or can I wait till Monday morning? They told me the things to look out for. They went ahead and prescribed me. I didn't need antibiotics, but they went ahead and did it just to be on the safe side, preemptive strike. And I went ahead and scheduled it for Monday. We already scheduled my surgery and everything so that over the weekend I could get all my ducks in order. because I will tell you, it is a little bit to recover from that, but not too terribly. Every day it gets better. Like the first day, you be well. First day you ain't gonna realize shit because you're gonna be so doped up from the anesthesia and the stuff they give you at the hospital. It's the second day that you're like, oh shit, I feel like I've been hit by a Mack truck. And then the third day is even better, and fourth day is better than that. They bruised me up a little bit too, so that may have been why I had a little bit more of an issue. But I've heard it with everybody. The first day is a little bit painful. Second day gets better. Third day, fourth day, so on and so forth. So it's not a terrible thing if you had to have it done. But you know,
You know what? Speaking of gut health and mental health, Eddie, have you heard about the new studies they did with the mice? They took gut bacteria from cultures from people who had schizophrenia and put it in healthy mice, and the mice started showing signs of and symptoms of schizophrenia. Did y'all know that? Like, it's real fascinating. I'll have to send it to you, Eddie. It's fascinating.
I
Like,
would I would love to see that study too. If you send it to
yeah,
him, he can send it to me. He has
yeah.
me on. Are you on the Discord, Miss Regina?
I sure am. I hardly ever am in
I
Discord though.
same. I'm on there too. If you see the Charlie there, that's the Charlie here. And same Charlie. But yeah, no, that's me in the Discord too. As Charlie. But yeah, no, I'm the same way. You can ask him sometimes. I finally been getting my ring throughs though. It's finally ringing again. I finally figured out how to turn off the notifications where it won't ding 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 every 5 seconds, but it will ring through, so that's good. Um,
I'm lucky to get my notifications half the time. I don't know what is going on with the YouTubes, but it does not like sending me my notifications. And when I do get notifications, it's for the channels my son has been watching on my YouTube, like
it
outdoorsmen and pocket knives and animals and bones and
what
boy
I
stuff.
what I have figured out, if you're subscribed to a lot of channels, especially like I am, and many more are, whatever you watch most frequently is what it'll give you notifications for. If you watch somebody occasionally or very rarely, it'll hardly ever pop out their notification. And even sometimes, if somebody's like what they consider shadow banned or something like that, it won't pop out a notification at all. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know I'm subscribed. Why am I? Or, if it's the first time you're subscribing to the person and you haven't actually watched any of their content, it won't give you their live stuff or anything. No notification at all.
Yeah, I know.
And you got it set to all. I'm like,
Mhm, mhm.
I think YouTube just has problems because like there are some people I watch all the time I don't get any notifications from, and people I barely watch that I follow that I get notifications from more, and I barely watch their stuff. But I think YouTube just likes to pick and choose who they want to promote. And
That's
it's probably
true.
their AI and stuff does their own little thing that they feel is good. But what I understand is like there's barely any real people you ever can get a hold of with this stuff. It's always the AI that's normally sending like these pre-made messages and all this crap. I've had to deal with a couple YouTube things when they try and which they haven't for a while, but when they would try and dock my personal music, because somebody will sit there and claim it's theirs, and they put try and put a strike on my channel that copyright infringement and all this crap, and it's like that's my stuff, man. A lot of times it's the same message all the time I get from them. I don't think I've ever really gotten a real person when I had to fight with the AI back and forth, like all this stupid shit. It's dumb.
Yeah, YouTube needs to fix their algorithm.
Well, they're going to AI stuff. Did you hear about that? Like AI is what they're pushing more than anything.
I'm not so sure
Like,
I'm happy about that because AI has like I guess what you call shadow ban certain comments and stuff that shouldn't have been banned. I've seen people like, where'd my message go? You know what I'm saying? And I've been like, where did my
yeah.
message go? And it's like, that's not, why would, I think AI is going to make people mad. I think it's just going to make people mad.
Well, most of the shorts, I guess a lot of the shorts, because they're pushing shorts right now with through YouTube more than your videos. So you get more viewership.
You are 100% correct, because since I started putting shorts out, like I had over 100,000 views on my channel with just my regular content, But when I started putting shorts out, I'm up to like almost 1 million views on my channel with just shorts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then there's also tools to do like thumbnails and all the stuff through YouTube that are AI generated. And right now that's like pushing people that do that stuff for YouTubers out, you know, it's like saying, hey, you don't have a job anymore. Basically, you're firing them because you don't have people to do your thumbnails anymore because you get it done with AI now. You don't have to have your videos cut up because you can do it with AI now. Everything is getting pushed around. There's a lot of people that I follow on YouTube that have been talking about this lately. And I don't have a problem with AI, but I have a problem with AI taking over things like this. Like, I don't have a problem with using AI to help write my song. You know, if I need a guitar riff, or let's say a drum beat, I just have AI do the drum beat on the back of a song with the same, you know, countermeasure and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I don't see a problem with that. But when it takes over the whole job, I see a problem with that.
Viper, and you know I do true crime, right?
Yeah, I know. That's where I know you from.
So, right. Well, the reason, I know you know me from that. I'm just saying, you know, right? So I was trying to use Chat GPT for data and fact checking in criminal cases. You would not believe how bad Chat GPT failed me, to the point that I argued with it, presented it news clippings and articles proving that it was wrong. And it was like, well, now that I take all this into consideration, I can understand blah, 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 blah. And essentially told me I was right. And it argued with me for like half an hour before that.
I'm going to tell you a little secret about AI especially when it comes to ChatGPT. I mean, it helped me a lot with something. I'll explain that later. But, you know, if it looks up something as it's in its eyes a fact, you know, it's just because it's said more on the internet on a search than anything else. That's why it gets chosen as the main answer to your stuff. That's what it does. It searches more and faster on the internet for information and compiles it compared to a person that will probably, like when I look up stuff, I usually look up 6 or 7 sources and then I compile what the best answers or solutions are for whatever problem I'm having. And that would help me get more of a clearer picture of what's true or what's not, because that's how it is. That's how you do it, right? AI can search thousands or more faster than a human can on answers on the internet. So if there's more things on the internet saying the pen is pink and it's an alien, it's alive online, then it's going to say that's true versus everything else. If it's the most things said online, honestly, that's what it is.
Oh, amazing. So AI is banking on the idiocracy collective mind. That's
basically,
beautiful.
I mean,
wow.
So let's say true crime wise, let's say more people are getting misinformation. Like the thing that got me into true crime in the first place, the thing that happened here in Oklahoma. And I knew the people involved with all the misinformation that was about the girl itself. And it was a lot of creators, for example, and people writing things that there was a lot more out there about her than there was about the main person that did the crime. And if I was asked ChatGPT or any AI to look up information on that and give me proper information on that, it'll look up and probably side with the people talking bad about one of the victims, and to say the stuff that is not true. 100%, because it's looking online and it's compiling information just like you. If you're to look online, it just does it more. It does more. So if there's more people that say this is that, then that's what it's going to say is true versus something else, because it has more viewership and has more on it. And that's basically what AI does. It searches the internet for all this information and compiles it. I mean, and it's like I had problems. See, I'm an electronic person. I'm a music person. I'm electronics. I know all this stuff. I was having a hard time getting this voice meter potato to work properly doing karaoke. And I was having problems with syncing issues, which I know when you're doing things like this to the mic and you have everything else, you're going to have syncing issues, but there's ways to fix it with the sound engineering and all that stuff. So I was trying to fix it and I couldn't find any information. I kept on trying to find some information. I was going through so many sources. They all were so fucking different. I couldn't find any sources that would match on exactly how I can fix the problem. I asked ChatGPT and it fixed it in a couple minutes. sorry, the dogs. And so it basically went through a lot more sources than I had, and it compiled that into one answer. And that's basically how I got my sound problem fixed. But that's basically what it is. It's basically looking online faster than a human person can. And a lot of people think it's going to be smart enough, which is not going to happen, but they think it's going to be smart enough to take over the world and stuff. Me being a computer programmer, I don't think there's any way it ever will, because it doesn't understand the changes of language, right? Like if I say, "Hey, what's up?" You're going to tell me "Hey, I'm doing okay. You know, what's up?" "Oh, nothing. I'm just, chilling and stuff." AI or any type of artificial intelligence like that doesn't understand slang, doesn't understand stuff like that as much. It can learn the slang after a while, but then slang changes. Like the stuff that my son says now, stuff that he says, I'm like, I know what that means. Stuff, it means completely different stuff now than it did back when I was growing up. Like a child saying, "I'm crashing." Well, when I was growing up, "I'm crashing" means I'm going to sleep. Well, his generation, "I'm crashing" means they're getting mad and throwing a fit. So that's the problem with AI, and that's why I don't think it could even be smarter than us when it comes to taking over the world or whatever. I think in certain things like math, for example, it could be smarter than humans. I think problem solving like that, it can be, but anyways, I'm just talking too much.
No, I think somebody done fell asleep on us over there.
Yeah, he's sleeping good. Bless his heart. Y'all know he's tired. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about muting and letting him sleep for a little while, but then I'm thinking, what if he don't know if I muted him and he's steadily trying to talk when he does wake up?
Oh man, yeah, that's a dilemma right there.
The case I was talking about here in Oklahoma is the one that happened in Henrietta.
Mr. Eddie.
Like all the stuff that was said about the girl that was involved in that, completely wrong. She was a sweet girl. Like she wasn't a devil worshiper like they were saying because they saw the books and all that stuff. Yeah, I knew the person that did the crime. I knew the girl that was murdered. I knew all that stuff because I'm from McAllister. So I mean, that's Henrietta. That was our party people, was in Henrietta.
I grew up babysitting as a teenager. Have y'all ever heard of the yogurt shop murders?
Yes.
I used to babysit Robert Brasher's daughter. I knew him and his wife. And half of the stuff that has been put out is absolutely not true. Like, it blows my mind how much misinformation about him there is, because it's being painted from this. I was a teenager, okay? I had a very scary interaction with him. He told me he wanted to shut my pretty little mouth up for good. I was there babysitting the girls and my little sister while my dad and Rose were gone to the store, and he showed up. It ensued into a fist fight. That man was violent and he was crazy. So like all of this, like I thought he was my hero kind of crap never like actually happened. And like police are actually starting to finally figure this out, that he really wasn't around. And everywhere he went, there's likely going to be victims, is the sad part. But it frustrates me so bad because, like I said, he graduated from school in Alabama, and no, he didn't. But that's what you'll find out if you Google it. You know what I mean? Like there's so much misinformation that like, and especially with like you pull it up and it's what the collective of people that don't know what they're talking about have said, and you pull it up with AI, it is no wonder some of these cases like are never associated to other cases because of the misinformation out there, Vibrant. It's crazy.
Yeah. And there's a lot of misinformation. I mean, that kind of shows you if AI is giving you misinformation, that means there's more misinformation out there than there is proper information. And that kind of shows you how people twist things, right? Like it's sad, but I mean, it's true. And that's what annoys me a lot. Like, I'm not going to get into the main reason, the true crime stuff. I was arguing with people, going on panels, arguing with people, but, the things that people say because they believe it, because of their religion or because of what they experience, which is different than what the other people experience and stuff. So it's like, a lot of different things come into factor, and if it's said more online and it's false information, then more than likely more people are saying it than there are people saying the right stuff.
The facts. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, exactly.
Yeah. Because you have to look at it like how a computer program works, right? So if I was to move my mouse through the computer, it runs through a whole bunch of different things through the computer, finds all the things that make the mechanism and all the stuff works, and comes back. It's like a loop, right? So it has to cycle through things, files, program files, all that stuff. It has to cycle through all that stuff internally to come back to where your mouse works. AI is the same way. AI is running it runs just like a computer program. It searches the internet, comes back around, does the loop, comes back around and tells you the information. So that's why AI, like your phone, if you don't have internet on your phone, that's why it can't answer you because it has to have internet to search information. If AI was smart enough, if they could make it smart enough, then you wouldn't have to have internet or anything, right? You wouldn't have to have internet service. You wouldn't have to have cell service, and then your AI can answer you without having anything connected to it.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's not. It has to have internet or cell service, right, or it can't answer you. So it searches the internet. Like it's just like a computer program. It just does a cycle, has to go through all the steps and come back around.
So the reason why I'm not speaking is because I don't understand neurodivergence like everybody on this panel does. So I'm just sitting back and letting these people talk. People are thinking I fell asleep.
Oh, we heard snoring.
Yeah, we heard snoring.
No.
That's the reason that we said it. We heard.
No. It wasn't me. I'm over here stuffing my face with food.
Do you have a dog?
Oh, that makes sense. No, he was eating. Eddie is like me. He's an enthusiastic eater. Leave him alone. No, seriously. Yeah, I eat loud too, Eddie. I get it.
Actually, one of my friends one day, we thought it was her dog snoring because her dog was bad about that. Like you would hear it and everything. Hey, Arky. And then the doggy, it wasn't her. It wasn't the dog that time. It was actually her. It's cute. Sorry about that, Viper. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna get off and eat really quick. But I'll be in chat.
You done made Viper and hungry, Eddie.
Yes, I gotta eat now.
Yeah.
But this is usually dinner time. And I know my son usually wants to watch a movie while we eat and stuff. So,
that's awesome.
Goes big time.
Megan 2.0.
Well, it is always such a pleasure hearing from you, Silver Fox. It's always a pleasure hearing from you. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you too.
Hey,
okay, I'll be in chat. Bye.
But yeah, also, hey, Papa Smurf. Thank you for everybody who's coming in. Yeah. I not understand neurodiversity, but technically, Mr. Eddie, you're actually a part of it, and you don't even realize it.
You know? We all are.
Yeah. Most people who have like DID, they have, bipolar, anxiety, ADHD, so on and so forth. You literally are neurodivergent. Your brain just thinks differently. Autism, you know what I'm saying? And on the spectrum of anyway. It's just all it means is that you think and do things differently than a neurotypical brain. So instead of saying I'm not normal, you say I'm neurodivergent.
Okay.
That's basically how it comes down to. That's what it stands for, and that's, we use it as a term of, like support for each other, like team neurodivergent. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We're awesome. You.
Rosaline, how you doing?
I am diagnosed OCD. So I've had to learn how to go with my strengths. I'm one of those people that used to start doing something and would repeat the process over and over again because I could never get it perfect. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean?
Oh, yes, I
Um,
do know.
mhm.
And my
I have,
mama, ooh, you could lick the floor in our house when we were kids. You could lick the walls. You could lick the window. Everything was so damn clean.
yep,
And she would get you if you licked the floors and windows and wall because then you made it dirty.
yep. um, like, but you can, like with therapy and stuff, you really can, and especially awareness, just awareness of it in itself can help you seek out the different ways to learn how to cope. That's the cool part about it. Like there's such good information out here that was never known, that we, even though we are neurodivergent, that we can focus on those strengths. We can't rewire our brains, okay? But what we can do is teach ourselves how to better ourselves through in our situation through learning what our different preferences are and how we learn.
Yeah, and like I love what Rosaline said, neuro spicy. I love that. I want to get. I told Mr. Well the thing is, I want that on a T-shirt. Because like here's the thing, right? We all like we. That's the thing that I want to, why we started this stream. When we were talking about it, he offered me this when he found out I was a mental health advocate and stuff, is to bring awareness about different mental health conditions and different things that involve mental health and the umbrella that it is, and to try to help other people. And like I can tell you my coping mechanisms and you can tell me yours, and then we could both try our like something different, right? And see, hey, that might actually work for me. You know what I'm saying? And we could give each other advice and talk about it. And so that's why we come up with a different topic. And one of, I know in the next couple of shows, there's a couple of them that we haven't went over yet, which one of them is OCD. The other one's autism, dissociative identity disorder. Coping mechanisms would be a great show. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the different ones, Tourette syndrome. You know what I'm saying? The different things, right? And teaching people, but also helping people. And it's like group therapy in a way. How we relate as humans.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I think that the trauma that I went through when I was younger, my OCD was a coping mechanism that stuck, if that makes sense.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was because of trauma. And in some ways, like it's a hindrance, in other ways, it's a plus sign. Just like with anything, like my ADHD, some things of ADHD are a negative, right? But some
Hmm.
things from ADHD is a positive. I can use it to its strengths.
Yep.
Some parts of bipolar is a positive, and some parts of it are a negative. Because when a bipolar person loves somebody, they love strong. You know what I'm saying? Like real
Yeah.
strong.
Hmm.
And so, there
I can
are,
attest to that.
yeah. So there's good and
Yeah.
bad in everything, right? And even in
That's
Right.
and that's the bad part. To be honest with you, is because it's affected me in relationships because I've been hurt so many times. You know, when you love the person and you love the person, they hurt you, it does a number on you.
Yep. And you can love somebody more than you love yourself, which is not a good thing. I did that in my second relationship. Never, it's good when you're in a relationship to love the person and you love yourself too, and y'all have like a love for each other. But when you love that person more than they love you, and you love them more than you love yourself, and you put them above all, that is very toxic and very bad. Because they will take advantage of that when they know, because they don't really care like you do, right? Hey, Shark
Correct.
Daddy.
That was my problem. You know, when I was in a relationship, I always put the person that I loved before me every single time. And like you said, they took advantage of it.
Hmm.
That's the reason why I have been single for the last 7 years, because I am afraid to be hurt again. I'm afraid to be taken advantage of. I'm just afraid, you know. Up until recently, um, I I put myself back on market, and I'm on dating sites and seeing where it takes me. But I'm very blunt when I talk to people, and if you accept me for me, then let's go forward. If not, then I'm not wasting my time.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. Because I was in such a bad relationship with my ex, right? When I did go back into the dating world or whatnot, I knew at that point what I wanted, what my hard yeses would be, what my hard no's would be, right? And I realized from that moment on, the next person that I be with, this is what I said to myself, will be the last one. So I implemented a thing. This is gonna sound crazy to some folks, but it worked for me. To where I'm not meeting you right away. We're not going on a date right away. We're gonna talk for a little while. You're gonna get to know me. I'm gonna get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Then we could set up a date, and then we can do all those things. But I'm not also sleeping with you like that right away. And if that's what your intentions are, we might as well not talk because we're gonna waste each other's time. You know what I'm saying? And I was straight up.
Yeah.
I was honest about I couldn't have any more children, so I was straight up honest about that. I have a child. I was straight up honest that I have parents that I take care of because they're disabled. Right? I was straight up honest about everything, and I expected that back. Now, did I meet a bunch of zeros before I met my hero? Yes, I did. I was single for 10 years by choice and celibate the entire time until I found that person that I was willing to take that leap for.
You gotta kiss a few frogs to find a prince.
Yes, ma'am, you do. And I found my prince, and I love that man more than life itself. We were best friends before we ever became, in a relationship, before we ever crossed that line. Were we afraid at times that it could affect our friendship and we might lose that? Yes. But I told him, I said, if we try to date and it doesn't work out, I said, I would rather us end it and be on good terms and remain with our friendship than I would, because we broke up once. We dated for a little while and then realized that no, he needed to work on some shit, right? He still had a lot of stuff going on at the time. And I said, you don't need to be in a relationship right now. It's not the time. If in case we come back together, it was meant to be. But I would rather have your friendship than lose you.
Yep.
And I don't want to be a bitter person. And right now it's turning that way, and I don't want that to happen. So I think this is the best. And we ended up coming back together, and we've been together ever since.
I met my husband over 17 years ago, and like on a blind date, and he wasn't my blind date. That's a story I'll have to tell you sometime, Charlie.
Oh, I've been put on a blind date before. My first
Charlie,
boyfriend and my first with was a blind date.
Charlie, my blind date, like all my alarms, red flags, everything were going off. Okay. I did not like him. I was avoiding eye contact. I wasn't even comfortable around him. And not only that, but he was the furthest from any person I would ever be attracted to I've ever met in my life. Um, and my husband seen the predicament I was in and asked me to dance, and I danced with him. And
Oh, that's how y'all love story. The first dance. It
And
started.
he was like, "I'm going over to with some friends to hang out for a while. You want to come?" I went and told my blind date that I had to go to the bathroom and left. Yeah. I had no loyalty or obligation to that man, okay, and I was not feeling it, and I could tell, like, just by the way he was acting, he was one of those types to be like, if I told him I was leaving, he would be like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to convince
Yeah.
me to stay and crap, and I did not want to go through that, so I dipped out. Best choice I ever made in my life. Yeah,
But I think it's cute that y'all's first interaction was just he saved you from a bad situation and y'all dance. He was like your Prince Charming.
girl, oh my goodness. Yes, he is my Prince Charming, and I didn't believe in all that fairy tale kiss you and make you swoon. Girl, I know that's right. I know that happens.
All
Uh,
right, ladies. All right, all right, all right, all right.
we
Okay,
getting too
ladies.
mushy. We getting too mushy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
We just love our better halves, Eddie.
that
That's all.
I'm happy for you. Yes, I'm happy for you, ladies.
And I'm happy for you getting back out on the dating scene because I know how hard this has been for you as your friend. And I think that I'm glad for you because you did give yourself time. You know what I'm saying? Before you put yourself out there. And I think it's gonna be good, Eddie. I really do.
Also, you tell any girl who tries to break your heart that you got two sisters over here that will cut the hoe.
Actually,
Eddie already knows I got family in Florida. I can pay a visit.
my biological sister is supposed to be moving down here during tax time. You know, after school ends
Oh, that's awesome. That's
this
awesome,
summer.
Eddie.
This summer. So if that happens, um, she's very protective over me.
That's good. I don't have to worry about sisters with you. She'll
So,
cut a hoe for you. I'm gonna give her a high five virtually.
but there's another reason why I open my doors to her is because she's got my two nephews,
Yeah,
and she's always dating the wrong guys. So now, if she's living with me,
they can't do shit to your sister.
I can interrogate her boyfriends.
I
You can
love
pull the
that.
brother card, and she can pull the sister card.
Okay, you know, because if she's here and some dude decides to put their hands on her, I don't have
Oh,
to.
that'll be his first and last mistake ever.
Correct. I don't have to find an airplane ticket to Indiana. I could just
Yep.
pull up.
Oh, I know you will too.
So,
Alrighty, well, Eddie, my
yeah,
brother, it has been such a blessing. Thank you for having me up. Um, and everyone out there dealing with being neurodivergent, remember that it's not a disability. You just your brain works different. Your chemicals fire different. It doesn't make you a weirdo. It doesn't make you abnormal. And sometimes I really think that some of us that are neurodivergent might be the cure for the atypical mind that can only think one certain way. Because neurodivergence has opened up an entire world of learning availability for all of us. And I think that it's very fascinating and interesting, and everyone should give it a go over. And remember to be kind to those of us that are a little different. We're not the weirdos. We're just wired different, you know.
yep.
And you guys stay blessed. Uh, always be kind to one another. Don't pet the sweaty stuff, and don't sweat the petty stuff. Bye, Eddie.
Bye.
Huggies, Miss Regina.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye.
So that is it for today's live. Thank you for everybody being here. You did an amazing job, Charlie.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, the thing is for hosting today.
Well, you did the hosting. I was in the background learning.
Well, we
You know,
all can learn at any time, point or day. It's big huggies. You
yes.
know.
So I just want to thank everybody for being here. And I will see you guys Friday. Tomorrow, I will be at a wrestling event with my little brother, God brother. So, but Friday we'll be exposing the foster care system. So if you experience foster care, you know about foster care, join us Friday. Um, let Charlie, let Josie know.
I will. I will make sure that I tag her on my community post when I share it out. So that because I know she really wants to be there for that.
So, and Aya, I sent you an email. Check your email. And with that being said, everybody, thank you for being here. Much love. And until next time.
Well, the thing is, see what happened was in retrospect, we love y'all. Huggies.